I wanted to just highlight for a minute one of the cultural phenomenon that's going on these days that I think is intimidating for a lot of believers, and that's deconstructionism. You've probably heard about several of kind of high-profile Christians who have lost their faith because they've gone through this kind of deconstruction process. Show of hands, anybody kind of heard some of that going on out there? Yeah, it's a real thing going on. Friends, we can't be in ignorance about these things. We need to understand what is deconstructionism? What is that all about? Why would that be a hang-up for people? Why would that be a tool for people dismantling what they've believed all of these years? Is it a threat to us? Rather than continuing in ignorance about these things, we need to seek to understand them and maybe even understand their vulnerabilities. Okay? So I've actually given you a link in your step for today to look at this article on deconstructionism. It's by desiringgod.org. Just trying to understand what it's all about, okay? And I'll just give you the 2-second snippet to get you started. It's a tool developed by Jacques Derrida back in the 1930s, and it's a form of textual criticism. And so it's and I'm just going to read some of the highlights that I made here. It's a literary philosophy arguing that we're wrong to assume that by merely reading an author's words, we can understand something about absolute truth. Okay? And so it's an attempt to say that I can't really understand what somebody wrote a long time ago because the words that they're using that we use today, we don't really mean the same thing. And so you can begin to see how things break down when we can't even trust the language that we're reading. So therefore, deconstructionism. And friends, just a couple of quick answers, and then we'll wrap up. The question that deconstructionism is asking, i.e., are the words reliable, is the same question that Satan uses in the garden. Did you notice that? Satan asks Eve, is that what he really meant? Is that true? Is that believable? It's the same tactic. We've got to be careful about the attacks of the enemy. Secondly, and I think this is the bottom line, is our faith is not made up of words. It's made up of the power of God demonstrated most clearly in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So no matter whether or not we struggle to understand some certain words, and is there some nuance here and there, friends, the historical evidence points to that Jesus rose from the dead. We have reason for faith that goes much deeper than words. It comes to the activity of our God that came in human form and suffered and died and rose again. That's where our faith is grounded, in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So friends, let's not be intimidated by some of the attacks of culture and attacks of the enemy, but let's get tools and resources and support that we might not act in ignorance, but that we might shore up and build stronger faith together. Amen?